Recording. What's up, everybody? So this week is on business week. It was a pretty fun week. I mean, a lot has been going on in my life in terms of I got an interview at a marketing firm. I was called in for a second interview. It's happening this week. There's an update on that, so I'm pretty stoked about that. Along with that, I'm finishing my contract time at American Express tomorrow, actually. So I'm really excited about that finally. But I just want to get it straight into what I learned this week in the business section of the LSA. I'm going to start with what he started with, which was a nice tip to plan ahead to conquer our long-term goals. Because the fact that we live in a value-based society, we use that instead of making money. You choose your lifestyle and let the money come after. You choose the lifestyle you want, you create the the business you want, something you love, something you find your passion in. And then once you start creating and start putting it out there, marketing it right, you'll be able to make good money. Now, I've mostly learned that from the 4-hour work week, so that was pretty cool. And Brad talked a lot about finding the niche market. So ask yourself, like, how can I get in a really niche market? Like, who do I want to sell to, right? Another thing he talked about is about fulfillment, and it comes from constant growth, of us constantly growing. Thank you. My laptop. So from you constantly growing, you'll be able, sorry about that. From constant growth, you'll be able to be much more happier, because when you're stagnant, I feel that's when you start getting depressed, and you don't think as well as you start meeting people, because you become very negative in life. Another big thing he talked about is how our ideas are useless unless we execute it. So taking action. You have the idea, take action towards it, whether it fails or not. Failure is good. Like he said in week 2 or week 3, I believe, when he spoke about failing as fast as possible. Try everything you have in your head and just fail as fast as possible. If that fails, try your next venture and try your next venture. Eventually you'll hit. Just like anything else, it's a numbers game in the end. Sometimes some of us get lucky the first try, you hit, some of us don't. So what I like that he said is that he's like, don't look at where you're at now. Plant the seeds for which you learn at your job and use it for later in business and your life, because that's something I do a lot. So I'm pretty sure most of us do this. We're sitting at work and we're thinking about the future all the time. We're like, oh, I'm just gonna sit here and just be all bored and not put your all in your work, when this is where you can learn. Nice blue moon. And I really like that. So don't look at where you're at now. I mean, just be grateful for you having that, because I hear a lot about what goes on in the world, and you want to be more thankful for what you have now. So in the second part, I know he talked about creating a unique skill set that you can find, that when you have that skill set, you can look for a mentor in that specific skill set. And I saw one thing he spoke about was marketing. And since I'm working at I'll be hopefully working at a marketing firm after the second interview. I'm pretty sure I got the job, so pretty confident in that. But marketing is the highest leverage business skill set. So I feel like if I have that skill, if I get, this job work falls through, it pays me well, I'll be able to learn a lot in terms of marketing. And that's going to be good not only for myself when I create my online business, but also for others, in terms of if someone wants to open a business, I can help them, whether that's freelance, so I can help them, just charge them a specific premium and just, help them get their business better. So I like what he said, that all that matters at the end of the day is, did they buy? So that's one major thing. I mean, I've been in retail for so long. We always say, always be closing, just like old school stuff right there. But recently I've been reading How to Sell as Human by Daniel Pink. and he basically says that's wrong. Like, that's not how it is anymore with the whole social media and everything. There's a different way of selling nowadays, which is pretty interesting. Even though about that, but since I'm like really thinking about marketing mostly, I know Brad said that we should listen to the first 8 episodes of the I Love Marketing podcast. I'm recently just downloading podcasts on my iPhone. Downloaded the 8 episodes earlier today, actually. And I'm going to start listening to those starting tomorrow while I'm at work. I know he spoke about something that caught me was the sales funnel, because I remember watching a video about a year ago that Tyler from RSD spoke about this funnel. He spoke about it in terms of women. He's like, you know, you go out, you approach this amount of women, you get this amount of numbers, you get this amount of numbers, you get this amount of dates, and you get this amount to, you know, get laid. You probably lay about this amount, and then the funnel gets smaller. You know, you'll probably get a little bit amount that'll stay around. That'll be like regular girls or girlfriend, and you know, there'll be some that it gets really detailed. Like some that'll be down with threesomes and some not, and it goes into, it's like the funnel starts from out here and goes all the way down in. You spoke about sales. Sales is a second skill development because it's highly correlated with success in your business. Of course, if you're not making sales, you're not making money. So sales is very important. I feel like in terms of sales, that's why I kind of started reading this book, because I know that sales is like the way it is in our generation. It's completely different from how it used to be, and that's mostly because of the internet. You know, that everything is located there. People don't go into a store to see a salesman and get information anymore. They come in with the information already. It's just up to you to sell them on their needs and their lifestyle. So instead of asking, you know, telling them information, he talks about the seller needs to be beware, not the buyer. Because the seller needs to know, okay, this person knows about this. What can I use to make their lives better? That's how we have to think as people selling them a product. You have to find what their need is and why they need it. He gave a lot of book references in terms, you know, like Influence by Robert Cialdini. I'll be reading that very soon. That seems like a pretty good book. I looked it up. Good to Great by Jim Collins. It's another one. The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, which I do have already. It's a big book, so I haven't gotten to it yet. But basically says to create long relationships with your customers and offer a lot of value and then show your product. Similar to what RSD does. That's exactly what they do. They give you a lot of free content, you know, because with the YouTube and on their website with all the blogs and everything. And then they pitch their products, and they have, you know, the 3 products, which is like the hot seat, the boot camps, and then you have the summits every year. And I love that business, like that business structure is awesome. I'm pretty sure that's why they're $1 million company in Fortune 500 and everything. Another skill development he spoke about was leadership, which is something I really study, I really love, because it's such an essential skill to maximize your income. In terms of when you create your team in your business and you have your workers, you know how to delegate your responsibilities to your team and to yourself. So I want to be able to, like, if I get this marketing firm job, I want to become a manager of that branch, so I can learn how to delegate tasks and give people specific tasks on what to do to make not only my life easier but their lives easier. Another tip he gave us is that emotional intelligence is more important than IQ, which is very, very true, because if you cannot control your emotions and you don't know how, you're not going to be making those sales. You're not going to be able to handle those angry customers, because we all get those. He gave us other skills to work with, which I like, you know, Photoshop, HTML, CSS, hiring, training, and firing, operations, legal, accounting, taxes, networking, client requirement, and relationships, which is a big one. I like that one. And web design. I was trying to do the web design thing, but I wasn't really into it, so I kind of just tossed it to the side. It's not really for me. But the client requirement and the relationships is something that I might think about secondly after the marketing. So he made us do an exercise, which I put in my ManOS. Bring it up right here. He basically said you're gonna pick out of 5 development. So it's leadership, marketing, emotional intelligence, training people, accounting, and finances. So for me, for now, I put my skill development in three. My top three were marketing, leadership, and accounting and finance. In terms of marketing, he made us add it and bring a growth strategy. So make our growth strategy. So how would I do marketing? I'm hopefully going to get a job in marketing. If not, I'm going to continue to apply to different marketing firms so I can get that knowledge. Along with that, I'm going to be listening to the weekly podcast for I Love Marketing. I'm also going to read books on marketing and try to meet people that do marketing. I know some people from American Express right now that either worked in marketing or work in marketing for American Express right now. So there's good contacts to keep. The second one I put was leadership. So similar to marketing, I know a lot of higher ups in these companies. So I know I can sit down with them, ask them a ton of questions, probably get one of them to mentor me. So I can see different forms of management and leadership, which I've already done through working these jobs that I've worked on. I always pay attention to what the managers do. So if they're doing something good or something bad, not everybody's perfect. So accounting and finance is third because I know that's very important to know with taxes, investments and everything, budgeting, all these things matter, and it's really good to help people along with that because Americans suck at finances. But he's told us to do that. He spoke about lifestyle entrepreneurialism. So to innovate and have freedom to be happier in your job and business. So I thought about consulting maybe. That'd be something I can innovate and have a lot of freedom with. Not only that, but I'd be stoked with having being a consultant for people. Spoke about what else? Being a business owner means you have to have a saleable company. So that's if I create a company or a product. I haven't figured that out yet, but I'm on my way. Give us a lot of books. The E-Myth Revisited, the Work the System by Sam Carpenter. Getting to Yes. I've had that on my book list for years and I never got to that book, but I do. Like something he spoke about was about systems are more important than a person knowing everything. Because I know when I have my business, I don't want to be the person that knows everything because then I'll always be needed. People will always want to be calling me. I'll work 24/7. I don't want that kind of lifestyle. So instead I have to create systems that can help people that have questions. I can put them, that's my front line. And then behind that, just like Tim Ferriss talked about, you have your people I'm going to have work for me, my assistants work for me, India, American, whatever. India is much more cheaper, so it'll probably be an Indian assistant. $4 an hour. So he talks about focus, which is something I have a little bit of trouble with, is focus on one thing and push on through for a long time. And he even says you'll have a lot of doubts because you've never done it before, but if it's something I'm really excited about, I'm pretty sure that that will trump the doubt. In the last part of this, I basically put the whole 4-hour work week because that's the lifestyle that I want. Talk about work on being more assertive to get what I want. So that's something I've been working on a lot, especially with all the interviews I've been going to and all these job offers. I'm very assertive when it comes to how much I want to get paid and whether or not I want this. I've already declined 3 offers. So that's really big for me because I've never done that before. So another thing we speak about is know how much you're spending, which is something I have to work on. I've been budgeting, but I haven't been budgeting the way I really want to save my money. Because I do want to have a budget when I start planning my big trips and having that emergency fund, which I'm creating right now. 6-month emergency fund to be able to hold me down in case I lose my job or I decide to quit my job and try to find something else. So he even talks about averaging out your income. So if you were to win like the lottery, for instance, he's like, try to get it, split it into a 12-month period and don't spend it all, just average it out. Don't spend it all in one place like most people do. So I know that he talks about the more success you have, the more opportunities arise, create redundancies in your business. I'm pretty sure he's talking about, you know, the systems in place. The less you do, the more you get paid, kind of thing. Because if you have systems in place, they take care of everything. And applying the Pareto's law to all aspects of your business, the 80-20 rule, where 80% of your sales come from 20% of the work you do. So I just want to be able to create balance in life, right? Because that was the last thing I wrote here, to create balance in terms of money, relationships, you know, everything I pretty much have in my Man OS. Relationships with my family, relationships with my friends, finances, you know, being able to travel, doing those little mini retirements, as Tim Ferriss calls, so I can take like 3 months off, go live in another country for a little while, and come back brand new. Having as much knowledge as possible, which I've been reading a book every 2 weeks. I'm already almost halfway through How to Sell as Human. I just started that book Friday, so that's pretty cool. I'm hoping to probably be done by Sunday, and then start my next book. My health and fitness, I'm joining the gym next week since I'm finishing. So that's one of the big things. I cannot wait to join the gym, get my body back in shape, start meditating, spending more time with my family. It's a big thing. So many spaces here. And that's pretty much it. I mean, everything else is just on the low part. I'm not really, those are all in maintenance mode where I'm going to keep it. But I know next week, which is this weekend, I'll be making a video on the social studies, basically relationships part of it. So I can't wait for that. And yeah, I'll be seeing you guys next week.